what has been the impact of the pandemic on your innovation process in the company? Right? I know all of you are from different company categories and sizes, and the customer audiences that you really have are completely different. But I would love to know as to what was the pandemic's impact on the business, and very specifically on the innovation process within the
I
company.
think there were three key points that we had to look at, and the first one being the acceleration of innovation, right? Innovation is not new. It's something that we've been doing for a long time, but accelerating how we innovate was something that was very imperative. Technology advancements, where can we advance technology? What systems, what back-end systems, how do we interact with our customers? That was probably the second one. And then the third one was really innovating the process or the flow of the UPS customer experience. So that was really, really big with us. We looked at those three different work streams and went to work. We jumped into the deep waters. We went to work. We formed new processes, new systems, and really just changed our entire thought process about innovation and how to accelerate that, how to have those minimum viable products get to the market. And then how do we understand what our customers need? We shifted our mindset from it being about UPS to being all about the customer. Everything we did, the question started, what does that mean and what will that do for our customers, right? And then we backed in from there. So I think I'll let Louis and Christine add in, but those were the first three things that we did as a result of the pandemic and innovating at UPS.
Great.
Yeah, I think Michelle's dead on. Acceleration became the massive, talking point across the organization. And for us, we sell liquid, but we really are selling experiences. And those experiences were all had in restaurants, bars, big group settings most of the time, and all those were gone. So what we really had to do was really adapt to how our consumers were adapting to the COVID pandemic impact. Where were they now taking their experiences and where were they creating them? And in a lot of cases, it was hometainment. So from an acceleration perspective, there was packaging, there was supply chain. We also had to deal with legislation. We sit in a 3-tier distribution system today where we legally have to sell to a distributor, who legally has to sell to a retailer, who then sells to the consumer. Well, legislation started loosening up where it allowed different models to become available where manufacturers could sell direct, manufacturers could do curbside, lots of drinks to go. So all those things that were between consumer changes and legislative changes were ones that we had to deal with from an innovation perspective.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ellen is back. Perfect. I was just texting you.
Louis and Michelle, I agree with both of you and feel your pain. And Louis, I think feel your pain kind of on a personal side. So my husband is a bar owner in San Francisco, so definitely fans of Sazerac, but he definitely felt the pains during the pandemic as well, like many of our businesses did. So agree with you that acceleration was key, and it was also for Lulu's being not only a women's e-commerce fashion brand, but also a brand that's really been known for dresses and events dresses. That was a really big challenge on our business. So we had to innovate in order to survive. And so it sort of forced us to think outside of the dress, which is actually a great thing today because we've expanded into so many different areas over this time. So we expanded into activewear and loungewear, things that people were wearing more during the pandemic. We expanded into like beauty and self-care. So it really pushed us to think outside of the box and go beyond our norm. So we still consider the dress our gateway drug, but now there's so much more opportunity for our customer to shop with us and to stay with us. And then again, thinking about the customer experience, just like Michelle and Louis talked about, that was a huge thing for us. So knowing that shipping was a challenge as everyone all of a sudden had increased demand in shipping. It was really about how do we set expectations with our customers? How do we straighten up our comm strategy? How do we make sure that we give them a little extra love because we know things will be delayed? and then also taking care of our customer service because we knew that they were getting the brunt of it. So some really interesting things came out of that have continued through past the pandemic.
Very interesting. Aaron, so I think that just the question was overall, how has the pandemic impacted your business and anything on the innovation process of the company?
Yeah, I mean, we had the benefit of being digitally native and having both brick and mortar and online distribution, but primarily online. So we were to some degree a beneficiary of shifting patterns, and we saw skyrocketing demand both on our site and on Amazon, which pretty much immediately caused stock outs right at the same time the supply chains were getting disrupted. So getting that stock made and restocked and back to our warehouse was all kinds of fun. So between shipping delays and skyrocketing demand, we're kind of caught on both sides. It was oftentimes a good problem to have, too much demand, but staying in stock, messaging customer shipping delays, all of that was pretty new for us as an organization.